is the most important impact in this round. We control probability for 3 reasons. First, arms sales exacerbate existing tensions. Those with new weapons feel more confident about launching attacks. That's thrall and Germany 18. Second, we are fueling a humanitarian crisis with Middle East destabilization. And finally, this will inevitably result in extinction. That's our Bureau 17 card. There are only arguments against this advance where military dominance is necessary, which I'll be addressing on the K-flow. Oversight. The negative has done a poor job of arguing why the oversight advantage shouldn't be considered. Senator Schiffer and Courier 08 evidence, Congress oversight is key to solving foreign wars. It's a system of checks and balances, just allowing the executive loophole their way into selling billions of dollars of weaponry to countries that have been known to violate human rights, not only as consequences now, but all consequences years from now. The negative fails to address the future impacts of our act. The negative has also failed to address our Starburst 19 card, which talks about why oversight is key. The emerging exemption allows only the president to decide what's needed for national defense, where to direct funds, etc. Our card even states allowing the executive to act without Congress will make U.S. foreign policy more volatile, expansion, conflict prone. Don't let them try to wiggle their way out of this advantage. They have no viable offense. We've already won this advantage. On to human rights, we concede that there are all causes to human rights credibility. Kick the advantage. We aren't going for it. Security K. First, they cannot have two contradictory arguments. Conditionality is bad. Our interpretation is that the negative is limited to one dispositional advocacy as well as the status quo. You should be preferring the app. First is strategy skew. Neg is allowed to make numerous contradictory arguments that they can kick one side at any time and garner our offense as theirs. They must defend the arc since the app's limited to one advocacy. Second is predictability. It is an unfair burden to the affirmative because we are forced to predict what the 200 is going for. Third is topic is specific education. Condo incentivizes the negative generic strategies, the one is seen never allowing for in-depth debate. Finally, it disincentivizes research if the neg knows that they can kick out of it, then they won't research in-depth. Condo is a voting issue for fairness and education. What the negative has failed to do is explain why they have the right to use Condo in this round. Without this explanation, they automatically lose as they have failed to advocate for the use of Condo against our app specifically. Second is framework. Our pedagogical benefits outweigh scenario analysis, generates the tools we need to produce relevant research. Their framework ignores the educational values that comes from viewing real policies and how they interact internationally. We are not contributing to a securitization mindset. We are sparking discourse over the harmful impacts of U.S. hegemony in the Middle East and how our actions, like selling arms to countries that violate human rights, is immoral and wrong. Third, you should weigh the app against the alt. Our epistemology allows for in-depth policy discourse over security. Fourth, extend the link. Turn all of our advantages are essentially the security cake versus oversight. Executive foreign policy causes militarism and intervention. Congress sparks deliberation and restraint. Second is Middle East. U.S. arms sales support human rights abuses and bold Saudi aggression. We believe we argue that this is false. Fifth, perm to the plan and the counter plan and all other instances. The case is not mutually exclusive. And finally, they're all just vague and will not solve vague, all to allow for the negative spike out of arguments and dodge having in-depth debates over their proposed future. Politics DA. We've turned the politics DA. The app is key for Democratic support as Trump's base support remains strong and growing in the status quo. He's continued to garner higher and higher approval ratings since he was elected. That's our return and win 19 card. And Trump wins now. Expert predictions go out for Dotsky 530. An American University professor who has predicted the last 9 presidential elections says Trump will win the 2020 election. 13 key factors help determine whether the party in the White House will maintain. If the party loses on 6 factors or more, he said they will lose. Lichman says the Trump administration down to 3 key factors: lost in the midterm, lack of foreign policy success, and Trump limited appeal. Democrats are wrong about the politics of impeachment and the prospects for victory in 2020. There's also no link to climate change. We need to get to 12-degree difference, giving countries time to change such a require 17 evidence. Also too far out. Our impacts outweigh. On to in-use monitoring. You should extend our permanent EUM can be used in all other cases except the app, and it doesn't prevent us from appealing the emergency provision in Section 36. One of two things has to be true. Either in-use monitoring and consequences and Saudi violates we don't sell arms, or the CP has no enforcement mechanism because there's no consequences for Saudi cheating and doesn't solve our impact. They have no evidence for how in-use monitoring would be enforced. We know Saudi is committing human rights violations now, yet this is not deterring them from bombing Yemen. How will monitoring weapons change the outcome? They have failed to answer these questions. And to answer their Bronson 18 evidence, cross-flight, thrall on Germany 19 evidence, a sales reduction is net better. First, in-use monitoring is an empty promise, making transfers illegal, hasn't deterred Saudi. EU alone will be unable to intimidate Saudi into not selling/committing human rights abuses. And second, not selling weapons is a net better. There's 100% guarantee that these weapons will not go into the wrong hands.